Hello, beautiful Agatha Mind family. Welcome again to another wonderful update. Thank you so dearly for always supporting. I really appreciate. If you are just coming across this wonderful family for the first time, or you are seeing my face for the first time, I still remain your one and only Agatha Progress, bringing you the news back to back. Remember, we react to all videos and your opinion is highly needed in the comment section. So carry your popcorn. Let's dive into what's happening today.
Shebi na don't get independence since 60 years. What have you done with independence? Shey because we get independence means say Unilever pack comot for Nigeria. Shey because we get independence means say Nigerian military no commit coup for Nigeria with CIA backing. Make una go look the meeting wey they host after they do the revenge coup of 1966 for July. Go and look at the meeting. Now British and American ambassador, they give them the order what they go do for them. They choose, they help them decide, they help them settle quarrel. Who kill Lumumba? Who kill Sankara? Who overthrow Nkrumah? You people talk as if because we gain independence, the West suddenly hands off African affairs. They hands off. They have continued to sabotage. Why are you not talking about the sabotage? Anytime any African government try to get it right, these people come and they sabotage. They use people like you to sabotage. Now let me explain. When I say people like you, I know what I'm say they blame everybody. You see, 100 years from now, our children will also ask, say, what will be they do now? You say what will be they do that time where they sell us like this? Because people don't understand that slave trade is still going on. It's now called brain drain. Brain drain is the new slave trade. What thing that they tell me? When some people take the best of you and they go and work for other people. That's what slavery was. They come here and they took the best workers and they took them away. Still, they have the capacity to take our best workers anytime that they like. You see, during the real slave trade, what they always talk, the real slave trade, during that time, not be everybody they participate for slave trade. But you see, everybody support them. Most people support them. Why? Because even though most households no one sells slave to Igbo directly, they want to buy those goods from the slave trader. All those textiles, we say won't get them. So when African kings, the truth, even though they be Mugu, when they go say stop working with the Europeans, Africans, because of all these comforts, these sweet things what we won't collect, well, they father my picking they carry. So father my picking they carry. You know, just the way this system be today, where as they sell us away, some people are getting paid, they share that largesse for our society. For that reason, everybody is quiet. You understand? Now that largesse where they go around for our society, amongst those who are supposed to talk. See the largesse, then they make everything they more. Because as we tell like this for this country, things are broken. People were supposed to talk, no they talk. People were supposed to organize, no they tell people to organize. You see, it's not about saying that once Nigerians protest. We must get concerted effort into making sure that Nigerians organize, into making sure that Africans organize. But nobody is putting in that work. You understand? We're not putting in that work because on Friday everybody still want to go drink. We are all involved. Want to drink champagne, want to drink Oyibo drink, want to wear Oyibo dress, want to live Oyibo lifestyle. You know, we want access to these things. Even though these things what they collect access to is causing big damage in our society. Just like slavery. Even though slavery was causing big damage to our society, We wanted access to the comforts of whiteness. So we throw away face until slavery become colonialism. Now neocolonialism is going on. Brain drain don't come. We expose ourselves because we want access to these comforts, to these things. We are allowing our people to die, allowing all these things to go on. Just the way during slave trade, we allow people to die, we allow things to go on. Why? Because we want access to whiteness. Now it is happening again. It's called poverty. You know, say that time, they don't know it's called poverty that time. You know, now we call it poverty, brain drain, corruption, whatever it is going on, terrorism, violence, kidnapping, everything going on in our society. We allow them simply because we are dreaming to access whiteness. So let's allow what is happening happen. Let's wait till it's our turn. You get me? So that's why many people support imperialism. They are afraid to lose comfort. The third reason, don't get me twisted. Yes, people definitely fight to abolish the slave trade. Oluwabi Kayode asked a question. See, how about if people, but too little, too late. Too little, too late. You know, me, I always tell people, say, so many African ancestors fought senselessly at the end of the day. When they're supposed to fight, they don't fight. When they're supposed to fight, they enjoy. Just like us now. We should be fighting right now. We should be organizing right now. But no, now until they can't take our airport. Until you go on land now. Say, okay, take their airport, take their railroad, take everything. When they not gonna lock you down, when you not go feel win the fight. That time they won't begin fight. When it's too late, by that time it's too late. Because now that we are telling you to be gearing up, to organize, that organizing should be the only thing you are thinking about now. Say, even though as you decide your church, you should be telling your pastor, say, how is he organizing you to defend your own? Asking your imam, say, forget all this heaven talk. Tell me what we need to do now. I'm here to organize this church politically. But no, we won't wait for last minute. We won't wait till they take your airport before you know, say, things don't reach beam. Abi? So that's the same thing. So many Africans resisted. So many of us. But by that time, resistance was futile. So many African kings resisted. But the pain is that they only resisted when they realized they were losing power. And it was too late because they didn't know that their power was their people. Let's not romanticize the African elites. And they tell you now still till today. Very few of the African elites deserve our respect. Don't romanticize them. Don't ever romanticize the African past. Go and investigate it. Investigate it well. Investigate it well. So that we do not make the mistake that those people made. Because that's what we are doing again. We are making the same mistake that they made. In a different form. Now, I hear many people, the third group of people who like to defend imperialism for Africa are the criminals of Africa. Because their excuses for defending imperialism is so criminal. It's a criminal excuse. Africans were weak. And these are the worst ones. Africans were weak. Africans were gullible. Africans were naive. First of all, you are a fucking Christian, you are a fucking Muslim. First and foremost. Is it not in your religious books that to welcome your neighbor is correct, to be nice to people, to tell the truth. So if Oyibo people land in Africa and African people are behaving Christ-like already, we welcome our neighbor that we didn't know before, strangers, we gave strangers succor, we take care of them. They say we were naive for doing what they came to now say they are teaching us to do. So the thieves' excuse, I hear a lot of the thieves' excuse. I hear a lot of the thieves' excuse. You know, when you say when Amraba steal somebody thing, say he was weak. Why you say no get gun to protect yourself? Like, motherfucker, why are you a thief? You know, they start blaming the victim. You are weak, you are naive, you are this, you are that. All to justify stealing. All to justify stealing. How can one justify? You know, all these words, I'm telling you, and it's because in our own personal lives, we are stealing. Many Yahoo boys, many politicians, employee, many bankers, many people operating in Nigeria are operating from that mentality. They are already stealing from Nigerian people, thinking Nigerian people are weak. So they use the same excuse for their imperialist masters. Hey, you are weak. Because majority of these people that are running Nigeria are the educated people. Is professors in Nigeria, are they not thieves? Which professor, lecturer is not a thief? Let's go inside university. How many Nigerian students did not pay bribe? Did not buy grades? Who in the bank is not laundering money? Who in the civil service is not collecting bribe and stealing? So all these people and their Christian and Muslim mind will now come and say, hey, you are weak. Because they too are doing what the white people have done to us. They are the ones doing it. Yahoo boys say they online, they steal constantly, they lie, blah, 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 they steal money. You go steal money, you go say in victim na mugu. Say na you be mugu where they thief your money. You no get sense. That's why they thief your. You are constantly blaming the victim, constantly looking for something to say to make the victim look less human. You understand? Oh, you be mugu, you know, so you are a foolish man, you deserve to be robbed. You are weak, you don't get power, so you deserve to be robbed. Might is always right. You know, anything to justify taking from that which is not yours, taking from people. This is the spirit. They want you to feel. They'll not be saying it is human nature for somebody to take from the weak. Brothers and sisters, how many of you take from your children? You are stronger than your children now. Your children are weak. Children are generally weak. They don't have power. How many of you think it's okay to take from your children? When you hear people saying that thing, weak, it's okay to take from the weak. Those are rapists. That is a rapist right there. Because people don't understand what rape is. They think it is until you pin, it is only when until you pin a woman down and have sex with her by force that you are a rapist. Those that take anything by force are rapists. They've not just been left alone with a woman yet. Anybody that can take can rape. So trust me, go and look at Nigerian politicians. I always give this example. The MD of Niger Delta Development, NDDC, that lady, I've forgotten her name, when she was having an issue with Akpabio, one of the first things she said was Akpabio tried to rape her. This woman was MD of a parastatal. Akpabio tried to rape her. So imagine if Akpabio is with some young girl from university that came to meet him for a job or for interview, and they are alone. Do you know what people? What we go through with our politicians, the politicians rape the society. And if you ask them, they'll say it's because Nigerians are mumu. You understand? We live in a crimogenic society. This is a crimogenic society, so the criminal must justify his crime. How will it be if Nigerians truly saw victims as victims, truly saw crime as crime? What will happen in Africa? No. We can't see it like that too. Because if we see it like that, if we see ourselves as victims, maybe that will be the last day we become their victim. Because many Nigerians don't understand. They think victim is weak. Yeah, if you dwell in victimhood, you are weak. If you dwell in it, it is a sign of weakness. But victimhood is also a necessary step in becoming the enemy of your oppressor. And it's only when you become his enemy that you stop being his victim. So many people are victims in denial. So you see, they are victims and they are refusing to see that they are victims. Because they are ashamed of being victims. Because victim is a fool. Victim is weak. Victim doesn't have sense. Victim na maga. Victim no get mouth. So they use our ego, this ego, to make you feel as if you are above what you are. But the moment you see the reality, these people are making victims of all of us, and then you free yourself immediately. Because when you realize that you have an oppressor, you immediately have two options: to stay being his victim or to become his enemy. How many of you are the enemies of your oppressor? How many of you are enemies of your oppressor? How many of you walk into your office and all the people that do shady deals in that office, how many of you? How many lecturers walk into the classroom in this Nigeria, in all the universities we have in Nigeria? How many lecturers walk into the classroom and immediately command the respect of knowledge from their students, from their undergraduates? Very few, if any at all. Very few. So you hear them saying all these things. Then, Shebi, what are you doing with the local? They've left you. Some people are giving look at Australia. The Australians were colonized. The Americans were colonized. The South Americans were colonized. They've risen up. Those continents are white. They are white today. They've risen up simply because they've killed all the owners of the land and stolen it. So, last but not least, a lot of people talk about China and Japan. A lot of people talk about the rise of China and Japan. Now, this is what I don't like about all these imperialist stooges when they come into our spaces. Because when they go argue, they don't argue logically. Nigeria is capitalist. China is socialist. I am saying Nigeria should be social. All these people will come and attack you and say, socialism has failed. Socialism is this. Socialism is that. These same people will now come and still say China. China. So which is it? Are you capitalist or you want to be China? You see, because the Chinese understand that freedom is hard. So I'm sure you don't want China. So why do Nigerians keep comparing Nigeria to China? You don't want China. So now let's look at the country that you want. Let's look at maybe Japan, which is capitalist. So how did Japan become Japan? Japan was built from the ground up with the Marshall Plan, like Europe, after World War II. Do you people understand that? Europeans colonized us for over 100 years, promising us that they will develop, that they are here to civilize and develop our land. They took charge over 100 years and did nothing. Africa was worse by the time they left. Now fast forward to World War, but after World War II, that they destroyed the whole of Germany. Remember, Germany and Japan fought on the same side in World War II. That's why you must know your history. Don't just come online and be saying, look at Japan, look at this. Know what happened behind that. Germany and Japan were destroyed. And the war, they had the Marshall Plan for Europe and Germany, and then the world, they said, what will we do to make sure that Japan and Germany don't fight again, don't start this kind of war again? Then the Europeans and Americans imposed a constitution on Germany and Japan. Germany and Japan's constitution are almost alike, almost identical. This constitution makes sure that their country can no longer have a minute elite that have so much wealth that they can wage war again. Do you understand? The Europeans realized that the only way to kill the warring spirit of the Japanese and German elites was to remove the money from their hand and give it to the Japanese and German people. So the Japanese and Germans have one of the world's strongest socialist constitutions imposed by the United States. Do you have a socialist constitution in Nigeria? Do you even have a constitution that works? You have a constitution that says you have rights, but you don't have the right to demand for the right. I never see this kind of thing before. I'm telling you, in chapter 2 of Nigerian Constitution, it discusses all your rights, all your lovely rights. My brothers and sisters, you need to go and read this chapter 2. There's no right you don't have there. The right to a job, the right to a house, the right to health care, the right to transportation, the right to free education, the right to free food. The right to free house is in Nigerian Constitution. Then as soon as you reach chapter 6, it says, you see all those rights we gave you in chapter 2. You have no right to demand for the rights. I won't die.
What's the point of the right?
You have no right. So where is your own document, like the Japanese and German, to give you the trajectory to remove wealth from Dangote and Otedola and all these people and disseminate it to the people of our society so that they can live large and eat and be good? Where is it? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So you have to understand that before you are saying some people, hey, look at China, look at Japan. Go and look at the history of how that happened. Germany was rebuilt. Japan was rebuilt from the ground up. The walls came. They gave them hundreds of billions free. Not be loan. Free. Say build. The engineers. Even the Nazis, the Germans. What did they do in Africa? What did they do in Africa? What did they do here? Other than extract and exploit and extract and exploit. Then when one African leader stands up, they'll go and they kill him. And you say it's Africans that are not doing what? Africans are not doing what? What happened in Libya? Libya was the best country in Africa. Libyans had the highest wage in Africa, had the highest living standard in Africa. What happened to that country? Is it Africans that went to destroy Libya? Now that same country that was a beacon is now where Africans are being resold as slaves. But you come and say it's Africans that are destroying Africa. It's only Africans that are destroying Africa. Don't get me twisted. Yes, Africans like you are involved. You are their stooges. You are helping. You are those people. But no. We are not the ones. So that's my point today. This is the reason why Africans keep supporting imperialists. They support imperialists because they want access to whiteness. And for that reason, they have to shame the victim, blame the victim of their acts. They have to say that the victim of their acts anyway, I don't want to be recordable. I've discussed how many of our elites are also the same slave traders that they have been working with. You know, people that have decided to sell us. You understand, when you work with the descendants of these people, what do you expect? Anyway, I keep telling you guys, you just remember Jaja of Opobo. He was sending troops to fight with the British against other Africans. They were giving him different European titles. He heard they swear. He heard they swear. He didn't know they were coming for him too. He didn't know. So please, before you come to my page and be shouting, the Africans are not doing this, Africans are not doing that. Why aren't we? Why aren't we? When World Bank will come to our country and tell our government to remove subsidy on education, thereby removing education from the rich of the poor, saying that government must not invest in public education, government must not invest in public transportation, government must not invest in any public infrastructure, that they should leave it to the private sector. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in Nigeria is private sector. Are you satisfied with your light? Are you satisfied? One of the things I tell people that one of the things how you should see private sector is through our transportation system in Lagos. Our transportation system in Lagos is 90% private. Have you seen the state of those Danfo buses? Look at that. This is how capitalists think, especially capitalists with no capital. You buy a highest bus that is for sitting only 10 people, 2 in front, 3. You will remove those seats for the 10 people and now create a seat. You not think they want to expand it to 20. No, you can only add 3 extra seats. Those bench, you can only be from 3 people to 4 people on 3 rows. So one extra, because of one extra person's money, They removed the seat that has all the safety features of that bus, meaning you no longer have seat belt, you no longer have cushion, you no longer have armrest, just to take one extra person's money. Now even at that, the bus no AC, the downfall is bending, they don't paint it, it's breaking down, it's smoking. That is private sector. They have to squeeze water out of stone. That's why you see Nigerian banks charging you for what? I mean, like thieves. Stamp duty, text message money, the card maintenance, card that is in your pocket. They have to look for a way to just dip their hand. That's what I'm saying. So nobody should come and tell me on my page whether I can talk about imperialism or not. Yes, I can. And stop comparing us to China and all these places, because you've not checked the history of those places. You understand? Thank you very much.
In fact, if we start talking about the history of Nigeria today, it's not going to be finished. But hope you got some sense from what he have just said and you pick your own opinion, because everybody, they are entitled to their own opinion. All right, my wonderful family, that brings us to the end of this wonderful update. Do well to like this video, share and subscribe if you haven't. I still remain your one and only Agatha Progress, bringing it to you live and direct. Thank you so dearly for always supporting this channel, and remain blessed. For now, bye.